Okay, so today was the big US presidential thing where they've decided with the president is, and Donald Trump has won. He's won the US election to become the next president of America, which to a lot of people is a big shock. A lot of people were, well, at least half the people in America were thinking that it was going to be Hillary, the first woman ever in America to take over because she's a woman. But instead, it's been Trump, a man who has been very divisive in his campaign. Really led a bitter campaign. Really, really, really tough. But he's won. Now, the interesting thing, so I'm sure it's all going to be fine. I'm sure America's not going to actually build a wall against Mexico and all that kind of stuff. But it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here. And from a Scottish perspective, it's very, it's a little bit, because certainly Donald Trump was not considered a legitimate candidate. Effectively, it was thought that Hillary Clinton was probably the most qualified person to become president. She'd been the governor and run whatever positions she ran in the government. Was she vice president? Anyway, all that kind of stuff. She knows the system. She knows what's going on and all that kind of stuff. And Donald Trump has never held any public office, but now he's now won. So there was in Scotland, our politicians were very dismissive of Donald Trump, to the point where we had a TV character interview a lot of Scottish leading politicians saying, what would you do if Donald Trump became president? Would you congratulate him, or would you dinghy him? And can I even find it? Hold on. Gary Tank Commander Nicola Sturgeon. Okay, so Nicola, here I found the video of it. Nicola Sturgeon, our First Minister in Scotland, was asked by a character this. Just listen.
No, but I'm saying, like, in terms of revolutions and stuff like that, do you think Hal was...
I don't think there's any risk of a revolution in Iowa anytime soon.
What will you do if Donald Trump gets into power? Will you deal with him or dinghy him? Deal with him or dinghy him? Deal with him or dinghy him?
I think America will dinghy him before I do. What do you think his hair? Do you like his hair?
I think it reminds me of Dougie Donnelly.
So anyway, it wasn't just her. It was pretty much every other, because he interviewed all the other politicians, and all of them said we would dinghy him, which is a Scottish term for kind of going, yeah, whatever, ignore, talk to the hand, or whatever you want to use. It's in other words, we would ignore him and not entertain him in any sort of way. And now this morning, our First Minister is having to call him up and go, congratulations, Donald, for becoming the president. So there's a little bit of a we've burnt our bridges already. In fact, what's her name? Nicola Sturgeon. She went over to America and was actually campaigning on behalf of Hillary Clinton. So she was full on in Camp Hillary. So when the President of America and the First Minister of Scotland don't meet eye to eye, you're like, that's bad. Because Donald Trump has a lot of business in Scotland. He's got a couple of golf courses here and a couple of hotels. And he spent millions and made millions as well. He hasn't really got on very well with Scottish politics, but he gets on well with Scottish land and Scottish golf. He makes all his cash that way. So it's a bit of a worry of, like, before all he was a businessman. Now he's the leader of the free world. So just like, that if he then comes to Scotland with the power of America rather than the power of a businessman, that's where it's going to get a little bit awkward for certainly some of the Scottish politicians to tell him to fudge off like they have in the past. For example, in the past, Donald Trump bought a whole bunch of land up in a place, Aberdeen, up in the northeast of Scotland, and which was fine. Like, yeah, on you go. He was destroying a whole pile of very sensitive wildlife area, which there's a lot of protesters against, and he was a dick to everyone there. And then Scottish government, in their plan to try and become super green, super efficient, were making wind turbines out at sea. I think 15 miles out at sea, and Donald Trump, with the millions and millions and millions of dollars, was fighting the Scottish government because he was saying it would ruin the view of his golf course having these wind turbines all the way out at sea. He was like, "Oh, it's going to ruin everything. It's going to ruin everything." Even though what they'd be like that. It's like, "Oh my God, look at that wind turbine over there. Oh, it's ruining my view." Out at sea. The dullest view there is. And it is literally the North Sea that you're looking at. Really, really dull. So he didn't get on with our politicians very well with that, because they're just like, "Shut up. We're trying to become efficient here. Stop stopping us." And we just ignored him. So he fell out with our minister at that time, Alex Salmond. And then he bought Turnberry, another golf course, which I don't know too much about that one. I've kind of just stopped paying attention to it, really. But yeah, it's just a bit worrying, because also additionally in Scotland holds the nuclear bombs. Yeah, which a lot of Scottish people are totally pissed off about. Like, we're against nuclear war? Why are we holding the nuclear bombs? And those nuclear bombs are part of a special relationship that Britain has with America. So if nuclear war were to go off, America has access to the bombs in the Clyde. The Clyde being the river or the estuary going out via Glasgow. So everyone's like, or maybe it's not in the Clyde, but it's in nuclear submarines which float around that side of Scotland. So it's just like, so it's just such a nightmare. But yeah, there you go. That's what's happened today. Hopefully the government in America will rein back Trumpy, rein back Top Trump, and keep him in control. But what result? What a worrying result. And the point I would want to say is that whether Clinton or Trump won doesn't really matter. Nothing's really going to change. There's still going to be corruption everywhere. Banks are still going to own the world. Blah, blah, blah. It's just very unfortunate that the campaign that Trump has run has been so divisive within his country and has really polarized the country in ways of hate. So in other words, in the past where you had politician versus politician, the country was polarized, going, "We like this candidate. No, we like this candidate." It was a case of, we think this person's better than that person. This election is really people have been polarized in the fact that they're saying, "I hate this person, but I hate this person as well. Who do I hate the least?" Instead, you're just like, no, not great. Neither candidate was favourable with the majority of the people, and it really, a lot of the states were down to very close numbers. It was like 48% to one, 48% to the other, and it was only like a couple of thousand of votes that actually made the difference. So yeah, it's unfortunate, and I hope that at the next election coming, let's hope Michelle Obama. She's had some fantastic speeches. As a woman that can present herself elegantly, cohesively, professionally, I'm voting for Michelle Obama to just please put your hat in the running for the next president. Yes. But let's see how the next 4 years go with Captain Trump. Was it Commander Trump? Oh, Trump Commander in Chief. And for the next 10 years. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this does for business around the world. It is interesting that the stock markets crashed, including the Canada immigration website as well. Who wants to emigrate to Canada? The site crashed because too many people were applying for status in Canada. I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for the next 4 years to see where things go. But I hope in 4 years' time, Michelle Obama, let's have her. She seemed good. She didn't seem corrupt. She didn't seem like an idiot or an asshole. So yeah, fingers crossed. In 4 years' time, the world still exists for us to actually vote for her. There's no nuclear war. Anyway, that's just my thoughts of the US election results. Cheers. Bye bye.